Hi, welcome to Spec Hunter. This year has been all about photography for me. I spent a lot of time testing different gear to see what works best for shooting both day and night. I brought three main tools: my Sony A74, the Nikon Z8 that I have on loan for Nikon USA, and this small but powerful flash from Godox. It's called the iT30 Pro, and it's quickly becoming popular among photographers. If you haven't heard of it, Godox makes it for almost every major camera brand, including Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fujifilm, Olympus, and Panasonic. The one I use for this shoot is the iT30 Pro S, designed for Sony. I mounted it on my Sony A74 and took it to a big running event. I also have their V100N speed light for Nikon, but this time I wanted to keep my setup as compact as possible. That's one of the biggest strengths of the iT30 Pro. It's small, lightweight, and very portable. These days, small cameras and lenses are in high demand, but many of them don't come with built-in flashes. And even when they do, there are still good reasons to carry an external one like this. For example, I've always liked the built-in flash on my Fujifilm X106, but it has its limits. The recycle time can be slow and inconsistent, and it drains the battery quickly. It's also not powerful enough for multiple rapid shots. That's where the iT30 Pro comes in. It's small but strong, and even better, it doesn't add much weight to your camera. Normally, when a gadget is small, you expect the battery to be weak. But this flash proves otherwise. Godox claims it can deliver up to 560 full power flashes on a single charge. I didn't count every flash, but I can say this: I never ran out of battery, not even during a long overnight shoot. Charging is also very easy. It uses USB-C, just like most of my other gear. I love that because I don't need to carry different chargers. My camera's spare batteries, and even the V100N all charge the same way. That's so convenient when you're shooting on the go. The design of the iT30 Pro is simple and functional. The controls are easy to understand, even for beginners. There's a main dial on top that lets you adjust power or move through the settings menu. The touchscreen is bright, responsive, and accurate, which makes it easy to operate. You get three main buttons on the back: Set, Menu, and Power. On the side, there's a switch that lets you choose between wide or narrow flash coverage. The wide mode gives you a softer, more spread out light, while the narrow mode gives you a tighter, more focused beam, perfect for lighting subjects that are farther away. You can use the flash in TTL mode if you want to keep things simple. I remember the first time I used it, I just mounted it on my camera, turned it on, and took a shot. The result looked great right out of the box. But if you want full control, you can switch to manual mode. That's what I prefer, especially when I'm shooting events or in tricky lighting. During the race event, I use both the Nikon Z8 and the Sony A74. The Nikon handled most of the action shots because it's faster and shoots more frames per second. But for portraits and close-ups, I use the Sony with the iT30 Pro. The flash easily overpowered daylight and gave me that bright, direct look I wanted. But where it really impressed me was during the night runs. The race worked like this. There were two vans, each carrying 6 runners. Each runner had a leg of about 4 to 7 miles. The vans alternated, so while one team ran, the other rested. My team ran from morning until early afternoon, and then again at night from around 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Those night runs were the perfect time to test the iT30 Pro in complete darkness. Even though I forgot to switch the flash from wide to narrow mode, it still lit up the scene perfectly. The light was strong, consistent, and natural. One of my night shots even got picked up by Twisted Tea on Instagram, which was a fun surprise. What I like most about this flash is how flexible it is. It's not just a standalone unit. It can act as a master or receiver and sync with other Godox flashes. That's a big deal because if you're already in the Godox ecosystem, You can control multiple lights wirelessly from this one unit. And when you compare prices, it's hard to beat. The Godox X Pro trigger costs around $70, and the X3, which comes with a touchscreen, costs about $90. The iT30 Pro costs about $75 and works as both a flash and a trigger. That's great value, especially if you're building a flash system for different cameras. For my portrait work, I combined the iT30 Pro with the V100. I used the iT30 Pro on camera as a fill light and the V100 off camera as the main light. I shot with my Sony a74 and a 20mm f/1.8G lens at dusk. It took a few tries to time the shots perfectly, but once everything clicked, the results were incredible. I didn't use high-speed sync because I wanted to show some motion blur in the images. That decision gave me a nice mix of sharpness and movement, which really captured the energy of the run. The V100 itself is very powerful. Godox says it can handle up to 70 full-power consecutive flashes, and that's impressive. Even after a few hours of shooting, I barely made a dent in its battery life. It also has a touchscreen, just like the iT30 Pro, and it feels solid and premium in the hand. For Sony users shooting with the A9 Mark III, there's another huge benefit. The V100 can sync with that camera's global shutter at speeds up to 1/80,000th of a second. That's insane performance and perfect for freezing motion or shooting in bright daylight without overexposure. Of course, no product is perfect. When using the iT30 Pro with a large lens like the 24 to 70 millimeters, the lens can sometimes block the light for close-up shots. The result is uneven lighting, especially at short distances. Godox already has a fix for this. They sell a small TTL hot shoe riser that lifts the flash a bit higher above the camera, helping the light spread evenly. I didn't have it during my shoot, so I worked around it by tilting my camera vertically and framing subject from the side where the flash was positioned. It worked fine, but I'll definitely buy the riser soon because it makes things easier. Another small thing to know is the screen lock function. Once you've set up your flash, you can lock the touchscreen to avoid accidental changes. You unlock it by holding the screen for 2 seconds. The issue is when you're shooting through the viewfinder, your forehead can sometimes touch the flash screen and unlock it by mistake, which might change your settings without you noticing. Godox has already fixed this with a firmware update, so it's not a big deal, but you do need the original cable that came with the flash to install the update. Other than that, this flash has been great. It's compact, powerful, and easy to use. It charges fast, plays well with other Godox devices, and is affordable enough that I'm seriously thinking about getting one for each of my camera systems. I love that I can just toss it in my pocket and have it ready whenever I need it. It's rare to find a flash that delivers this level of performance while staying this small. Whether you're shooting events, portraits, or creative projects, it gives you the flexibility and power to handle anything. And the fact that it's USB-C rechargeable makes it even better for travel photographers and creators who want simplicity and speed. For me, the Godox iT30 Pro is one of those tools that just makes sense. It's reliable, consistent, and perfectly balanced between power and portability. It's small enough for mirrorless cameras, but strong enough for professional work. And with its price point, it's a no-brainer for anyone who shoots across multiple systems. So, if you're looking for a small flash that can deliver big results, the Godox iT30 Pro is definitely worth it. It's simple, smart, and built to perform. It has earned a permanent spot in my camera bag, and I honestly can't imagine shooting without it anymore. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you learn more about the Godox iT30 Pro and what it can do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to stay updated with all the latest reviews and tech from Spec.